When it increases, what is happening to the rupee and the dollar? Would be depreciating. So the dollar is appreciating vis-a-vis the rupee. Okay. And in this case, obviously the rupee is appreciating. Now, when you're looking at actual data though, you'll often find exchange rate defined as just the opposite way. Dollar to rupee and dollar to rupee, or the foreign or the currency domestic, or the price of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency. Here it is just the opposite. I'm talking about the domestic currency price of foreign currency. Okay? If that increases, the domestic currency depreciates. It is called domestic currency appreciation. Okay? Now the easier way of, the reason we actually like to do the other way is because appreciation, depreciation becomes easier. You see, in this case, when it's increasing, it's depreciating. It's decreasing, it's appreciating. Had I defined the exchange rate as dollar to rupee, and as you're likely to find the figures that you pick up, an increase is straight away in appreciation and a decrease is a depreciation. Now the bottom line is, if you're familiar with the definition, you should know which way to go. And the warning is also, whenever you're reading these kind of graphs and using them, be careful, check what is the definition that's being used before you conclude the trade. Okay, now, what we care about typically often is not simply the nominal rate, but something called the real rate of exchange. What is the real exchange rate? How would you define it? To talk about real exchange rate, we need to give prices. Prices of a fairly identical basket or a common basket of goods in the foreign country and in the domestic economy. Alright? Okay. Now, since we are talking about exchange rates and trade, you must remember that the basic reason for sale of goods across borders. So there are two kinds of transactions that are involved. Suppose I said a bottle of perfume that I want to pick up from the US because it's cheap over there. Alright? Then there are two things I have to care about. The price of the bottle of perfume from a mall at a mall in India versus the price of the mall in the US. But remember that here are paid in rupees and there are paid in dollars. It's not just PS and P, okay? To actually pick up that perfume in the US, I'll have to purchase dollars, right? Because I can't pay in the US, I can't pay for it in Indian rupees. And I do not have dollars because I'm a resident in this country. I have my whatever currency my home country. So there are two kinds of transactions involved. Or rather, the decision to buy a foreign good involves a couple of things. A comparison of the prices and consideration of which way the exchange rate is headed. Alright. So, what would the price of what is the rupee price of the perfume be? Using my notation into it. SPS. Okay. So PS is denominated in dollars and S of course is rupee per dollar. What do I compare it with when I decide to buy a match? So I look at the domestic price and the foreign price. I'll give you a working example. Let's take a basket of goods. So you think of P as the CPI and think of PS as CPI in the US, and let's assume that the CPIs have been constructed so as to incorporate similar kinds of goods. So it's no point comparing the price of a Maruti with the price of Ford. It doesn't work. Because they're two different differently because of all kinds of different reasons. But when we are saying that we're making a price comparison and deciding what to buy, etc., there has to be an anchor somewhere. Okay, so the basket of goods that you're looking at has to be fairly comparable. Well, if you have to use the real exchange rate as some kind of a measure of a country's competitiveness in international markets. So if you were to just use common logic, alright, suppose the relative price ratio is frozen, alright, doesn't change, and the rupee depreciates. Can you tell me what happens to this? So what happens if the rupee depreciates? Our goods become cheaper and cheaper. Okay? So that there's every reason to expect that our residents, as well as the residents from other countries, will switch demand from foreign goods towards domestic goods. Very important caveat here is nothing happens to relative price. Now, in effect, what you're saying is that changes in the real exchange that we see in this minute can be decomposed into changes in the nominal exchange rate and changes in relative prices. And if relative prices remain unchanged, then a nominal depreciation leads one-for-one to a real depreciation. Okay? So just take that. Okay, so you tell me. Now, these are the conditions, okay? Relative prices are constant. There is a nominal. Nominal what? You seem to be very easy. What is it? Come on. Okay, you have appreciation, you can ask me of what? Okay? Because whenever there's an exchange rate change, one currency is appreciating, the other is depreciating. Okay, so let me fill in this blank and say of the group. Now you start. So this is the constant x for s is defined in that way. This is the nominal appreciation of the. You're all sure? Yeah, you're sure. This is the nominal appreciation of the rupee. Now, what does it imply for the real exchange rate? Does it increase or does it decrease? Use the definition of the real exchange rate. PS by B is constant, S is falling. So, RER falls, prices fall, and there is a real. There is actually a real appreciation of the currency. Okay. So what are we doing? We're actually looking at point you're trying to make. Okay, that
I thought RER less than 1 is supposed to be creating more competitiveness, and greater than 1 is supposed to be.
It depends on how you're defining the RER. So
This is like effectively RER for US in a way, if we call it the way.
That's probably because the exchange rate is the old term. If you're looking at the actual data, the exchange rate from the way the textbooks define it is absolutely the other way. It's actually dollar per rupee.
That's what I was.
There, the RER increasing is an appreciation, the RER decreasing is a depreciation. But textbooks will typically do this to you in the old term. Okay? So because I have defined my currency as T per dollar, that's the. So you see again, warning. When you're looking at the data, check. Alright? Because typically when they define your exchange rate, it intends the reverse.
So this is the indirect and that's a direct method. So that's one way the way.
I have seen that this is a textbook and that is the real world. Both textbooks.
Well, normally I've seen sometimes they call it direct exchange rate or indirect exchange rate. This is supposed to be indirect exchange rate.
This is direct.
This is indirect. So this means opposite meaning.
For us, this is direct.
For us, I mean.
Domestic currency is put in terms of foreign and indirect is in foreign.
See, I think these are just terminology.
No, yeah, that's terminology.
Yeah. So therefore, just best check. What is the definition of the currency? What is the definition of the exchange?
Because when the Reserve Bank of India shows the data RER they give, that is only a reverse definition of it.
It's everywhere.
It's exactly opposite.
RER is same as REER.
No. Okay.
No, but the thing is, it's idea is same.
It's based on that, but it's not the same.
It's basically a weighted average. That's the only difference. Actually, the idea is the same. So here you're taking only one country.
Okay, I hope you see one thing. When I'm talking about the nominal exchange rate, it has a unit. Rupee, dollars, etc. Right? But what is the RER? The RER, when I'm taking it, it becomes an index. Because you see, I'm looking at some kind of relative prices and I'm actually converting it, and exchange rate times a price index. Okay? So,
Just write it out, you will get the answer. You write it out.
And something is, so how does the price index go? A price index considers some year as a base year. Okay? And then you look at 100 is one. No, so there are two, and this comes to it, yeah. So RER is a real exchange rate. Now in a two-country world, if there was a two countries, then I can have a real exchange rate without any ambiguity. Look at a country like India. Okay. How many RERs can I define in the textbook? As many as I care to. Okay, I can have it India, US, India, Euro, Japan, etc. Okay. But look at what it is an index of. It's an index of of the competitive index of yourself versus others. Okay. So therefore, that immediately sets a limit to which are the currencies I should care about and which are the ones I shouldn't. Right? What are the currencies I care about? I care about the ones with which I have some sort of a trade relation. Okay? Exports and imports. Because after all, it is for some sort of a policy usefulness. Okay? So I look at the currency composition of my trade basket. And I see perhaps 40% is dollar-denominated trade, 20% is euro, the rest of it is yen. So, okay? Then there goes the basket of currencies I care about when I am looking at the movement of the rupee vis-a-vis others. Okay? And there you get what is known as the real effective exchange, which is actually a weighted basket. And you have two
36
and 6. So you actually have two variants where you have an RER difference on a 6-country index and an RER difference on a 36-country index.
And there are broadly two. No, there are actually 4 in that definition. One is 6, 36, then trade-based and export-based.
So where are these definitions coming from? They're coming from basically the way keywords can be to look at, to fit the value of your rupee against an average of the other currencies. The other currencies being the ones which are important from your point of view. So I really may not care about what's happening to my currency vis-a-vis, Name a country with which we don't trade. We don't.
Maybe Somalia, Burundi,
Yeah,
you know.
for some countries which I don't trade, I don't care where my RBI is going. Where is the dollar, the yen, I care about. Alright? So those who definitely find a place in my RBI calculation, and this will be an index number. So if you look at some of the figures, it's just an index number because your PS here, which I'm just using as PS and price of a particular good, is actually an index. Okay, price.
It's also your dimension.
No, X is.
So if S is that and both of them are index, then RBI cannot be dimension.
No, I think possibly the PF is like a dollar price, P is rupee price, and there's the exchange rate rupee and dollar. So dollar cancels, rupee cancels, it becomes a number.
Because otherwise it won't match. Otherwise it won't match. So it will only be if both of them are in their domestic currency, that is dollar and rupee in their.
Yeah, so this is also going to be an average now, alright, where you're looking at the representation of currency in that average. So the weights in that average is just your weighted average, where the weights are going to be my trade share, if it's the export, if it's the
RER exports.
yeah, RER exports, it will be reflected in my exports, otherwise it will be my trade share, etc. Okay, so the RER has to be in this. So in this case, in a two-country world, you know, it's straight away and able to compare it because I'm considering it, you know, I'm collapsing a price index and working with that. Okay, so it doesn't matter.
So the base here becomes 100 or equal to 1, whatever you can call it.
So, yeah. So you also have the nominal effective exchange rate, which is again a kind of an average of all these, so another index of all these currencies. The nominal effective exchange rate times the relative price ratio will give you your real effective exchange rate, where this average would be constructed using the either the trade rate or the okay. So are there anything else that's confusing at the moment? Let me get back to you. I see what you're trying to ask. I'll just try and get back to you regarding exactly how the RBI is calculated. But in the dashboard is very simple, you know. My PS is the price of funds growth and it's in dollars. But the minute it's pricing it, there goes your okay, there is your okay. And what movements in it represent are basically movements of how much of foreign goods I can buy in exchange for my goods, given their existence. It's kind of like a relative pricing. Okay. Now, why am I talking about all this? We need to drive home this central point. That just as we said, looking at interest rates was important, they tell us what's happening in the economy, which way it's headed. So also, exchange rates are very important in their own right because they can be. And I've underlined the word can be because I can actually make it come be by fixing the exchange rate. Alright? They can be actually important adjustment mechanisms affecting demand, affecting trade balance, and affecting your balance account balance. And you can just see how. Alright? We said that if there was a nominal depreciation of the rupee, it actually would lead to a real appreciation given relative prices, so that's important. And how would a real appreciation affect, now let's take it to the simple term. How would a real appreciation affect demand? What happens when there's a real appreciation of your currency? Which goods become more competitive relatively? Okay. So, domestic goods tend to lose competitiveness and demand gets switched from domestic to foreign goods which are now cheaper. So, your currency foreign things are more affordable. Okay? Imports become cheaper. So what does that do to demand? Domestic demand will be switched from domestically produced goods to imported goods. Right? So that's one thing that you could see. So whether you're in the domestic economy, whether you're in the foreign economy, even foreigners will find it cheaper to buy their own goods than to buy from you. Okay? So if you have there's a switching of demand, of course they're talking about the world, there are no trade barriers, nothing, etc. So there's a clear switching of demand away from your goods. What does that do to your trade balance? If you had balanced trade to begin with, it creates a deficit. If you had a deficit to begin with, it widens your deficit. Because you're talking about a situation where imports increase and exports are likely to fall because your goods will just become less competitive. Okay. Now, what does that do to your current account deficit? Given other things? It will widen your current account deficit. Now, of course, you're given other things. Right? If there are other things happening to your current account balance, there's lots of investment income flowing in from abroad, you could have a trade deficit going hand in hand with current account surplus. I mean, that's fine. Right? Yeah. But given other things, you could be in a situation where the current account balance actually widens. Alright? So, that's just one possibility, and as I said, one way of one way in which exchange rates work and ultimately affect important outcomes like the parity of current account. Now we can actually put this in reverse and say, suppose you have a rising currency. Now, if your current account deficit is growing, what is that doing to the demand for your currency vis-a-vis the foreign currency? Yeah.
So demand for your currency is decreasing.
So you would be demanding
More of foreign.
So demand for dollars increases, and what kind of supply in exchange? Your supply would be. So a widening current account deficit, okay, would lead you to a situation where the demand for foreign currency is going to increase, and the supply. So remember this: in the foreign exchange market, the supply of domestic currency correspondingly increases. So what is that likely to do? The deficit is what? Domestic currency. It will lead to a depreciation of domestic currency and appreciation of dollars. And what does that do? So it actually tends to reverse this chain of events. Okay? So with an appreciating dollar and a decreasing rupee, what will happen is foreign imports are going to imports become more expensive, and then the domestic goods becoming more attractive. There is a possibility that the situation could actually get reversed.
Why would it reverse? I mean,
so all of this is happening under the assumption that there is a price. Alright? Look, none of this is going to happen. Alright? These are just the possibilities. So what we're looking at is the real exchange rate gives us a kind of window, if you like, of analyzing, of actually asking these questions. What happens if? Okay? And we just saw that were it the case that relative prices were relatively fixed, then the nominal and the real rate move one for one. A nominal depreciation leads to a real depreciation, a nominal appreciation leads to a real depreciation. And if prices remain unchanged, then movement in currency movement in nominal values would lead to movement in real values, and that would actually be an important adjustment mechanism. That's all. What's to say that prices will not change? Who's holding prices up? So that's the next thing we look at. So what we've done is we've looked at the definition of nominal rate, we've looked at the definition of the real rate, and seen that it could actually be a useful tool. The information in real exchange rate movement, embedded in real exchange rate movement, could be telling you important things about which way competitiveness is getting forward. And that exchange rate movements could actually matter. They could matter for your trade deficit, they could matter for your bank account deficit, for regular demand. Now, of course, as you're saying, so what happens? So we need some theories of actually what happens. And one of them is the purchasing part, parity